Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me. I'm Davis Does Weather. Today we're here for another weather breakdown. We're going to be talking about a major snowstorm that will move through the United States over the next 24 hours, some huge temperature changes, and much more. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with the snowfall, okay? So this is at 3 p.m. Central Time tomorrow, how much snow you could see between now and then, okay? Now, as you can see, we've got a large snowstorm developing here in portions of the Northwest, but we're going to break this down state by state. Starting off with Utah here, okay? Now, slight slivers of northern Utah could get some snow. Likely not going to impact the Salt Lake City metro. If it does, a light dusting at the maximum. But then you get into areas like Nevada, where the northern portion of the state could see upwards of half an inch, but the northwestern portion of the state could see over an inch of snow here in the mountainous region. So look out for that. And then we've got California, where northeastern portions of the state could also get upwards of an inch of snow or more here. There are several 0.8 inch readings in this area. There's a 1.1 inch reading just south of Mount Bidwell, so look out for that. And then we've got Oregon, where southeastern portions of the state could get 1 to 2, maybe even some areas up to 3 inches of snow in the mountains. There is a 2-inch reading here just north of the Spalding Wilderness Study area, and then southwest of the Steens Mountain Wilderness. So look out in that area, okay? And then we've got Idaho here. Now, this is going to be one of the most heavily impacted states by this snowstorm, okay? So most of the state's just going to be in for the dusting, but then once you get into like the Big Bend area, you could get an inch or two of snow. You get into portions of south central Idaho, that's where you could get a few inches of snow, actually. There is a 3-inch reading here just northwest of Moore, so look out for that. But then you get into portions of northeastern Idaho here, and that's where you start to see those very heavy snowfall totals, where some of these areas could get over half a foot of snow. Now, I doubt we're going to be able to get a reading that good, but we have gotten several readings that are over the 4-inch area for this time, so definitely look out for that. Several inches of snow possible in eastern Idaho. Wyoming, heavily impacted by this snow. Northwestern Wyoming, we have an 8.9-inch reading of snow here just off of the Yellowstone Lake in the mountains, okay? A 9.2-inch reading even here just north of Trout Peak, okay? Some of these areas could get upwards of 10 inches of snow, okay? And that's just in the next 23 hours. After this, there will be even more snow. So some of these areas could end up with a foot of snow by the end of day tomorrow. Montana, okay? Southwestern portions of Montana could get over 10 inches of snow by 3 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. There's a 9.2-inch reading once again southeast of Iron Mountain, one near Cook City. That whole area in there really needs to be watching out for this. We have some winter storm watches in effect for this snowstorm. Probably going to turn into winter storm warnings pretty soon by the end of the day. Northwestern Montana could actually get a decent amount of snow as well. Upwards of half a foot of snow, maybe even more here near Mount Custer if we could get a good reading, but unfortunately we cannot, so sorry about that. But just know you're going to be in for a decent amount of snow up there in that area. Then we have the Dakotas here. Southwestern North Dakota could get maybe upwards of an inch of snow, maybe half an inch of snow around the Bowman area. And then we have northwestern North Dakota, or just a little sliver of the state around the Fortuna area could get a dusting of snow. And then South Dakota actually gets hit a decent amount. Western South Dakota could see upwards of an inch of snow, so look out for that. There's a 1.4-inch reading southwest of Spearfish, so look out for that. Nebraska, northwestern portion of the state could get an inch or two of snow around the Harrison, Crawford area, so look out for that. But other than that, not too intense in those states. Colorado, just a sliver of the state could get a dusting of snow in northwestern Colorado. I would like to point out that there is a potential for some of this snow to spill into Washington a little bit here, but this radar doesn't necessarily show that. Obviously, there are these tiny dustings making it into the state, but I could see some more snow falling in like eastern Washington over the next 24 hours, so look out for that. The Northeast here, this is our other big snow core that's going to be developing here pretty soon, if not now, okay? Where in northern Maine, we could see upwards of 3, 4, 5, maybe upwards of half a foot of snow in some of these areas. Now, again, we can't get a good reading for that, unfortunately, but we have winter storm warnings up in this area, okay, which is the first winter storm warnings of the year for this region, so definitely look out for that in the mountains of northern Maine. These half-inch readings are not accurate. You're actually going to get way more than that, so look out for that, okay? And then we've got New Hampshire here, with northern portions portions of the state could see upwards of half an inch of snow. Same thing with northern Vermont, okay? So look out for that. And then upstate New York could get a dusting of snow around the Plattsburgh area, so look out for that as well. That's it for the snowfall totals. But the Climate Prediction Center is pretty interesting with these new maps that they've released here. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for November 28th to December 2nd, where we're going to have an area across portions of the East Coast that are going to have a 70 to 80% chance to see below average temperatures all the way down from South Carolina back up to Maine, okay? This is a large area here in the darkest shade of blue that has a chance to see that as our cold front moves off to the north and the east here. So you got to look out for that for sure, okay? 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, we're going to have an area across the Ohio Valley that has a 50 to 60% chance to see below average precipitation, leading to drought conditions being possible in this area all the way from Illinois back over into southwest Pennsylvania, so look out for that. And then we have an area in South Florida that has a 50 to 60% chance to see above average precipitation. We got a couple of those in Texas and New Mexico and Arizona as well in the darkest shades of green, so look out for that. 8 to 14 day outlooks, 8 to 14 day temperature outlook here. We have an area in portions of the upper western Midwest that has a 60 to 70% chance to see above average temperatures, so look out for that. This one final heat wave will hit before winter, bringing some nicer temperatures to this area, but still brutally cold just because it's always cold up there, so look out for that. 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. We have an area on the west coast and portions of California here that's going to have a 50-60% chance to see above average precipitation, so look out for that. And then finally, we're going to be talking about, is there anything you need to be worried about severe-wise over the next couple of weeks? Well, for the most part, not really. We did have some severe potential here in eastern North Carolina today, but that's kind of moving out of the area, and once that system really moves out of here, the next thing that we're going to be really worried about is the northwest snow event here that I was just mentioning, where we could see upwards of a foot of snow after this thing is completely done in some of these areas, even digging pretty well into the southwest there, into the Four Corner states like southern Colorado, so you gotta look out for that, okay? Heavy snowfall totals possible, but here's where it gets really interesting, folks. This could actually create an ice storm for portions of the panhandle of Texas and northwest Oklahoma. In the pink there, okay, that could indicate some of your freezing rain accumulation, so you've really got to look out for that ice storm potential there for northeast Texas and northwest Oklahoma. We play this radar loop out a little bit further, we can see it stays there for a little bit, and then by Sunday, after Thanksgiving, you know, a few days after, we see this system move off more to the east, and another one come in from up north near North Dakota, okay? Now, we play this out even further. These two systems cause a lot of snowfall across portions of the Midwest that haven't seen snow yet, like Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. You guys have gotten more snow, but this will still be a decently heavy event for you guys this time of year, okay? So you gotta look out for this. Some decent snowfall will be possible in these areas, also now spilling into Ohio, Michigan, so look out for that. The other system's just kind of chilling up there, mostly staying in Canada, but then it kind of travels along the Finger Lakes here as it enters the northeast, so it will enter those regions and then kind of just leave the area. Maybe a potential for some freezing rain accumulation here in portions of Maine and Vermont, so look out for that. We play this even further. That system totally leaves us completely, and then we're just left with your everyday snow and rain, right? Well, here's the thing. We play this out into, hold on, let me go and find the day here. Oh, wait a second. Oh, okay, wait, I guess the model run is in progress, so unfortunately I can't play this loop out further for you guys right now. But in early December, we are going to be watching for a system to cause potentially some severe weather across portions of the deep south and the lower Midwest, okay? So we'll be keeping an eye on that. I'll have a new update for you guys in my next weather forecast. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.